Happy Flosstube Friday. My name is Kari. This is Target Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 21. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I've got a table full of goodies. And the tricky thing is I tell you that like every week. But this morning before I shot the floss tube, I had the camera up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it off. And I shot a quick little story, a little 1-minute story showing you guys really behind the scenes. It's vertical, so I don't think I can insert it in the middle of this episode. But if you check out Instagram stories, you can see the behind the curtain look that I talk about. Anyway, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for joining me and coming back. If you're a new visitor, welcome. Thanks so much for clicking and checking me out. Today's episode is obviously Flosstube, so it's lots of stitchy goodness. My channel is a lot of cross stitch, a lot of quilting, and a lot of fun. Today I'm trying to do these episodes every Friday, so they're short and sweet. Not really that short. I feel like I ramble but hopefully you're here for the fun. You sit back, you got your stitching in hand. That's how I binge Flosstube. Stitching, you got a beverage, you're ready to go. But what I want to tell you what we've got today, the table of contents, is I've got a fully finished from Stitchy March Madness, and it's almost a week early, almost, but I'm super excited about it. Stitchy finish. Check. I've got progress, of course, on the Beauty Mary the Roselle. If you're new, you'll be excited because it's fabulous. I also picked up 2 other whips this week, gave them a little bit of stitchy goodness. And then I would just have a little stitchy chit chat, kind of like a answer talk through the plans, maybe mania, maybe not. We'll see. So let's just dig right in. First, I want to say thank you so much. I had 2 people use my Buy Me a Coffee link down in my description box over this past week. Lil and Deborah, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I use that to send away shipping costs for the giveaways. I totally forgot. I think I've got a couple giveaways that weren't claimed. So we're just going to let it roll one more week, friends, because I totally forgot that on the table. So if you have come back, but you haven't checked out the last 2 episodes, you know what I'm talking about. We had a 3K subscriber giveaway. I'm still missing 2 winners from that. And then I had some Ada fabric last week that was donated by Wicked Whimsy Crafting. I think I have one of those that's not claimed. Maybe not. Those might have all been claimed. Anyway, check if your name has been called, but next week I will remember to bring them back, and we'll draw again because I know I've got some silk still sitting on my shipping shelf that has not been claimed, and you need this silk. Oh my goodness, super great. Okay, so that's that. Thank you. Let's just dig right into the finish because you know what? That was what was on the thumbnail, and hopefully you're excited to see it. So Stitchy March Madness, if you don't know, March Madness bracket of stitching was super fun. I had 8 new starts. I did the polls on Instagram. So much fun having you guys vote. Lots of things won that I wouldn't have picked as the winners. I mean, I love them all. Obviously, I love them all. They're the projects that I picked. But head to head, I might have chosen something different. But that's the beauty of March Madness is you guys did the picking. And so I didn't have to think about it. It's kind of cool. Sometimes as a mom and a business owner and things all the decisions take all the brain power. And at the end of the day, when I'm sitting down to stitch in my stitching chair, sometimes not having to think and just be like, okay, what did Instagram tell me to do? And then I sit there and stitch it. Anyway, what won was Barbara Anna. Welcome. The pattern is called Dancer, and it was in the Punch Needle and Primitive magazine from December of 21, so the most recent one. I'm excited. The new one is coming out. And have you seen some of the patterns? I can't wait to actually get a hard copy of this magazine. I got this electronically. So when you sign up for the hard copy, you get access to the electronic one if you choose that option. So that's what this came from. Beautiful. So I used colors of the inspired colors. Some of them I was able to pull the DMCs from my DMC boxes. She charts it in all DMC. There's 3, 6, 9, 11 colors, totally manageable. I pulled some of my silks, just kind of like went to my thread wall and pulled and chose, and I love it. Okay, so I finished it. Now, if you remember, it was stitched on. She stitched it on this beautiful, or it's called for one of those darker fabrics that actually has the dots printed on it. Of course, I didn't have that. So I pulled from Stash because March Madness was kind of like an impulse decision to join. So it was kind of, you know, kit up from Stash, which was great. So I kitted this up with a hand-dyed by Patrick, Ada 16. It was 14. It's more like 16 count Ada now. And this is the red wine variety. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you go back to, I should tell you which episode it is, but maybe I'll link it down below and tell you. I was gifted an assortment of hand-dyed by Patrick fabric, and it's gorgeous. But this is the red wine variety. Isn't he so sweet? So this is my cutie. So if you're new here, welcome. I stitch on Ada. I am an Ada stitcher, proud through and through. Love the look of linen. I just can't see it. And no matter how much magnifier and how much light, oh my gosh, light. Next week, I've got a treat for you. I was gifted this beautiful light. I wanted to give it a good 2 weeks of try and true so I could give you my true, honest opinion on it. But I'm telling you, next week, come back because you're going to want to put this on whatever list you got coming up, whether it's Mother's Day or birthday or Christmas or just random Tuesday, you need something, you'll want to come back. Anyway, so Ada 16 count, like I said, this was called for, inspired, but it just turned out beautiful. A couple of things. So I also, obviously I stitch on Ada, and then I also finish myself. I love finishing, or I love the look of a framed finish. Beautiful. But the cost associated with getting everything professionally framed is very cost prohibitive. And I want to be able to stitch it and enjoy it. So I'm a big fan, super huge fan of thrifting different items. And so over there, pointing, you can't see it, but here in my studio over there is a bucket of thrifted goodies. So what does that mean? So when I'm going to a thrift store, I thrift probably 2 or 3 times a month, mainly for my other business. I upcycle vintage sweaters and vintage stitching and all the things. So I'm thrifting for work. Isn't that fabulous? So while I'm there, I go over to the home decor, the frames, the kind of like this and that department. So what this is, you can't see, but I will insert a picture right here to show you guys what this was before. So it's one of those, it's kind of like a wood block, but it's not a wood block. It's a hollow block. And it actually was a set of 4 of them that spelled like baby, or it was something, it was supposed to be like, it was in the baby decor section. And it was just 4 different size boxes that I used for finishing. Now, if you see, hold on, let me see. I love having everything super handy. Whoop! This is waiting to be finished. Just fell off. That's up there in the secret. So this was another one. I finished this during Flossmas. So this was part of the set. You can see they were wood blocks. So this is part of that set. And so all I do is I finish this and I put it on. This is actually foam core because I didn't have the sticky board. I ran out of sticky board, but I had foam core board for my daughter, like project thing. And I was like, you know what? And I use foam core when I frame my stitching, or when I frame the stitching in a frame. I use foam core in the pins. You can see I actually used the pins just so that it would stick with the glue before I did it. Anyway, so it's foam core and I wrapped, so it's a little thicker than using matte board. That's what that sticky board is called. And I just wrapped the fabric. That's why my hot glue gun is out. And I glued the edge and I glued this down. I do put batting under the stitching to A, kind of soften it, A, and then B, to just in case with Ada, you can see through the holes sometimes. And so I want to give it a little softer, you know, kind of blend it in so it's not so stark white. It's a little softer. I use warm and natural batting. So anyway, so this is mounted and it's glue gun city, people. And so it's on one of these gorgeous boards that I thrifted, like the 4 for maybe $2 or something. And this size was almost perfect, almost, which is why it's a little bit, little extra down at the bottom. So I added this bow. My mom, so I showed her this, I don't know, a couple days ago when I finished it. And I said, look what I did. She's like, oh my gosh, I love his bow tie. I hadn't thought about it being a bow tie, but it totally is the bow tie now. And so then I went, oops, sorry friends. And so then I went ahead and I added, it's got some jingle bells. And then I also added, there's a 2022 charm right there. So it took me 2 days to decide 1823. What that year means, I don't know. It fits good. Is that why we picked it? Is that when Rudolph, like, I don't know. I tried to do 2022. I tried to do like when one of my, I can't choose one. I have 2 kids, so I can't. So it's not like this was for one of my children. So I couldn't use one of their birth years. And so I was trying to figure out like a different date that actually meant something to me rather than just a random 1820. I couldn't get one that I liked that fit. So I did the 1823 and I'm okay with it. So I added the 2022 charm, and this is, you know, hot glue, craft wire, wire around the ribbon, added the charms with floral wire, wrapped it around the button from my button collection, and that's it. So I hope, let's just put him right there and he's not gonna fall. He's going to be great. So that is my fully finished for March Madness, and I love him. So yay. Let's just go on to some Stitchy whips. So I'll show you 2 of the new ones that I pulled back out. Now, this was a beauty that, oh, I'm missing my board. My daughter came down and borrowed some stuff from my, you know, okay, she's got to do homework. Okay, so, but you can't take mommy's foam core boards and end up using the black one and not bring me back the white one so I can use it for Flosstube. Anywho, don't have a whiteboard for you. We'll survive. So I brought back Georgia and Martha. This was one of the ones from March Madness. And so I picked this back up once I decided, oh, I want to start doing some more whips. So look at that. It's so cute. Oh, the Mount Vernon house is almost there. So cute. Now, if you remember, we had talked about before I had George's vest stitched, or a portion of his jacket / vest. And I pulled all the called for colors. And it is called for this color called Bejeweled from Classic Colorworks. Well, can you see? It is like in your face teal. And we talked about this last week, so I don't want to, you know, belabor the point, but I couldn't use that Bejeweled. I could use it for his jacket. Okay, cool. But it's supposed to be the blue and the stars and the blue and the flag. And it just needed to be a little more flaggy blue, right? So, do you see that star? And I don't have my board, and so sorry, friends. So this is on a 16 count, picture this plus scrap. I'm pretty sure it's Wren. It might be fawn. This was before I wrote the stuff down. It was just in my scrap buckets of fabric, you know, when you have perfect, it's a little bigger than an ornament. But anyway, so see the little blue star? So what I did was I kind of did my own blend because I wanted to still have the teal hint of teal, but I wanted to bring in more of the blue. So what I did is I did my own little blend. And so I used the Bejeweled one because I'm doing it on 16 count, so I need 2 strands. So I used 1 strand of Bejeweled, and I used 1 strand. This is part of my Mose Silk Hank. And the color is called Night Sky. So it is a beautiful, rich, royal, kind of merges with navy blue. It's a variegated silk from Mo's. Love it. So I used one strand of each of those, and I love how that turned out in the star. So I'm definitely going to keep this guy in the rotation this week. I would love to get this. So this is going to end up measured. It says 78 by 95. It's only got 7 colors in it. And on 16 count, it's going to end up measuring a 5 by 6. So it's a little big for a Dobo pillow, but I think I'm still going to do it. I think that it's, because it looks so cute in there. So it's going to be a hefty dough bowl pillow. But that is my goal. I think I want like we talked before. I don't even have a dough bowl. I don't have a dough bowl. I don't really want to just go to Hobby Lobby and get one. No offense, love Hobby Lobby. But I kind of want to find the perfect one at an antique store. But, that's not something you can just put it on the list and go pick it up. No, it takes time. Anyway, dough bowl pillow. I think this is what this is going to be one day when it's all grown up. And then the other, let's pull out the beauty that is Mary, because she's got a little bit of a story to tell. Now, so if you're new here, I'll give you a little 15-second story. This is Mary Morgan's from Fox and Rabbit, the beautiful sampler that measures gigantic by gigantic, but it's really, hold on, not going to struggle, 289 by 291. Ooh, she's a big girl. She's a big girl, but she is beautiful. And so this is a sal I'm doing. I will put the hashtag right here for you guys. We're having lots of fun on Instagram. We've got lots of friends that are participating in the sal. All have different places to start. It's amazing to me. Okay, so I am not a page stitcher. But there are at least 2 that I have seen here just this week that are participating in the sal that are page stitchers. Like you can see Sarah, she has a line right through the middle of the rows. And it's fascinating. It's not how I do it. You'll see. I'm kind of all over the place. But I love seeing how everybody's different style and everybody's different places to start. And then Rachel completed the full border. It's fantastic. So lots of friends, lots of fun. But what gets you on this beauty is the colors. I'll just let's not have the ring light. So the colors, can you see? Okay, so you can see them better when they're individually in in my Floss Keeper or in my Project Keeper. And so just how bright, there's 2 different purples, there's a teal, 2 different chartreuse greens, 3 reds. This beauty, 19 colors, so fun. Okay. But let's just show you. I have made some progress since last week, and so I want to show you. Yay! Look at her. She is coming along. Oh my goodness. I just love stitching her. So I'm not going to be a monogamous stitcher because I love so many. I have too many whips, and I love them all. But if I have a dedicated, okay, let's watch a movie or let's been binging Outlander with Lily to catch her up to season 6. I don't know why she hadn't seen season 5, but I get to watch it again. So, if I get a couple hours of binging, this is what I pick up, especially if I've already seen it. So, but let me show you what I've done. So, what have I done since last week? Okay, so we talked about this last week. Sweet little Mary. Now, there's different stories. Nobody knows, or I haven't asked Karen because, because she's a celebrity in the world of Flossmas and Flosstube and Floss crossed it. Anyway, so I don't know for sure. Maybe she knows, but it's not written on the back. Why Sweet Mary didn't include 2 letters. Now, last week I told you 1 letter. And then, within moments, 2 of my friends on Instagram were like, it's also missing the I. Pickles? No, I did not. I did not know that. Okay. It's going to be great. So you can see we go from X, Z, Y missing, H, J, I missing. Okay. So we talked about this last week, and the moral of the story is although there's lots of interpretations and there's history behind why there's no I and no J, or what because I's and J's were kind of like the same, I think, is one of the theories I've seen. Sometimes they forget, sometimes they get mixed up, sometimes it's school, lots of stories, like, and I appreciate the history of all of those stories. But this beauty is going on my wall, and I like all 26 letters. So I had to do it. So what did I do? Do you see? There's an I. So it wasn't hard to chart the I. I kind of just used inspiration from a couple of the other letters, maybe basically a lot of the L, and then tweaked it to make it an I. It wasn't hard. It does look a little funny because she does it in groups of 3. These colors, these letters are like, woo, in your face. I mean, I love them, but they're sets of 3. So 3 and 3, and then there's 3 and 3. So, you know, yeah, there is a set of 4 here. And because those are the colors I chose, it is what it is. There'll be another set of 4 down below when I put the Y. So I think what I'm going to have to end up doing is, sorry for the glare, is losing these 2 little doodads. Or maybe I'm going to move them somewhere else. I don't know. Because as I told you last week, listen, it's Fudge Mary with Kari time. I kind of oopsie daisied the little bobble here because it's missing a bobble. Anyway, so my thing is short, and so the birds. So there will be some creative licensing later. So I also, one more creative licensing change. So see the KLM? And it's hard to see, but it is outlined in white. And the white shows up beautiful on this dark tan. It's actually stitched, well, I think this is the stitch one. 40 count baked clay by Fox and Rabbit. Of course, it's Fox and Rabbit linen. Gorgeous, but it's a beigey tanny, so the white shows great. Well, remember, I am using a custom kitted up by Treehouse Fiber Arts. I'm sorry, all the kits are gone. Rachel has told me that she will not be getting more kits in. So sorry, you can't. Hopefully you can kit it up yourself. But anyway, so this is done on a nor'easter gray. They don't call it gray, but it's a mottled gray 16 count Aida dyed by Sue, knit 24, LFA linens, lots of titles, but all the things. But it's a light gray, like it's pretty, it's showing up pretty true. You can see, it's like, see here my white fabric right here on my wall. So that's white. This is a lighty gray. Lighty gray. That's not really proper English, but we'll go with it. Anyway, so I stitched the K as is with the white outline. You couldn't see it. Like you can see the white. Well, I don't even know if there's white anywhere else yet. But okay, yes, you can. So you can see the white inside the letters. So see inside the G and the H, the white pops. But when the white is the exterior color, you lose it. I lost it on this fabric. And so again, here I am hemming and hawing, not wanting to change because that's one of the things I love about this thing is the colors. But I decided, well, it's just white. Like I can get excited about other colors. So I frogged the white out and I went ahead and I used 2 of the colors. So the blue and the burgundy, which I know doesn't even look like it's burgundy, or maybe it's purple. Ugh, glasses. Yes. Okay. So it's actually blue and purple. Those were called for. And then the green was supposed to be white, but the white was getting lost. So I changed it to one of the greens. And now you don't lose those letters. They don't mix. They don't fall. You know, they don't get lost in the gray. And that's just something. Sometimes when you switch fabrics from what's called for, you have to take creative license. That's how at least I justified it. And I'm okay with it. And I'm excited about it. I will have to do it again. Maybe this week. We'll see. But you can see the TUV is also outlined in white. The exterior color and the WXZ. So maybe I'll put the interior. I don't know. I haven't figured it out, but I am going to do it again. I just love it. You can see the letters, and that's That's the moral of the story, is you want to be able to see the letters. You don't want to just stitch just to, okay, it's there. No, it's really there, people. So anyway, so that is Miss Mary's update for this week. I'm loving her, of course. I hope you're enjoying the fun. Okay, so 2 seconds on Fox and Rabbit. Okay, friends, like, I don't need another stitch along like a hole in the head. No. But when I saw the Fox and Rabbit releases from Market, like, add to cart, add to cart. My Market haul's not here yet. And because I was good, I told myself, okay, you need to think about it. Don't just impulse buy. Don't just buy. Like, add it to your cart. Think about it. I took a good, almost 10 days. I mean, here we are, whatever day Market was. Yes. So I thought about it, and so that way the ones that I did get were the ones that I really, really, really wanted. So I did just check out this week from Annabella's online stitch shop. I tried to go to my local shop this weekend in Mount Vernon, actually, and pick them up and support my local LNS, but they didn't have 3 out of the 5 I wanted. And so anyway, so they're all coming this week, but the moral of the story is, have you seen Fox and Rabbit's new releases? Because I don't know where they get these funky samplers, but I'm a fan. I'm a big, big fan. And I'm pretty sure that, forget which one it is that I love, that is like a Felicia. I'll put a picture right here. Right here. I'll put her. I think that she's coming, and I can't wait for the pattern to come, and I'm hoping, crossing my fingers. I have no idea what size she is. I have no idea, like, anything about her besides I love her. And it's another funky flower. I mean, that's what, and the colors. And so they're coming, is the moral of the story. And so when it gets here, I'm hoping that it's going to fit on the size. I think I got a fat quarter. I don't remember. But the LFA Linens Treehouse Fiber Arts Ada Club that I'm a part of, I think you can still join. Maybe she opened it back up. I don't know. April it comes. So I have my January piece that I haven't cut it into, and then I will have my April piece. So I'm hoping that that pattern will work on one of those fabrics. And maybe, depending on the colors, we'll just have to see. Like, I don't know. But I might pull out my DMC card, and maybe I'll do a custom silk conversion with my silk skeins from Mercedes and Mo. Like, I don't know. I mean, I love the DMC. I love it. You can get it, and it's easy, but it doesn't look like it's that big, at least for some of them. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Moral of the story is, there's more Fox and Rabbit coming. In case you're excited about it, because I am. So that is Miss Mary, and she is in that one. And so I wanted to pull out one more that I had just got one night's in this week. Not even, like, I don't even know what I did, but somebody had asked me about it, and they're like, what video? Oh my goodness. I don't know what video it is, but I want to stitch that now. So what am I talking about? Totally, different than what I've got with that Mary Morgan's Crazy Sampler. Well, I am a Plum Street girl. Love Paulette's Plum Street. She's a couple of her more in my Made the Cut Market haul. So they're coming. But if you haven't seen, this is her salt boxes. So sweet. So they're just little square motifs, real quick, if you just stitch them up as little dough bowls, little pillows. They measure about 4.5 inches. This is on, I'm going to guess a 16 count. This is on a 16 count Ada. So I've got the winter boxes and the spring boxes already done. So I went ahead and I put some more stitching, just the white stitching. It's kind of like the mindless stitching. So let me just show you in case you haven't seen these before. Maybe I don't have them. Huh. Well, that's a pickle. The only thing that's in here right now, oh no, here, just kidding, it fell over. I am stitching them all together. So let me show you. So the ones you just saw was the winter salt boxes. And you can see she does them as these little finishing, extremely talented, joy. It looks like a pillow or a flat finish, but it's just got that it's almost Polaroid-esque with the thick bottom. I didn't add the thick bottom. I just did the same frame all around. I think it's a 3-stitch wide frame that I put around because I wanted to stitch them all in one piece. So I have winter, then you have spring, and that's the one I think is completely done. Look at that quilt star on that barn. I mean, come on. And then summer. So cute. Look at the sheep and the contrast of the barn. And then, of course, autumn. Love those sunflowers and the rust barn and all the things. So anyway, I wanted to stitch it all on one piece so I can frame it. You know, sometimes you have those funky walls where there's just a long, skinny, kind of like between two doors or, you know, just there's shapes in, at least when you're decorating on walls, there's always, everything can't just be big and wide, you know, this like, so I was excited to stitch them this way is the moral of the story. So I pulled this beauty out and put some stitches in, hopefully to get more in this week. Maybe I'll actually start working on one of the summer blocks. Sure would be fun to get this stitched up and framed up. I should figure out what size frame it's going to need so I can put it on my thrifting list, my search for find list. All right, friends, so that's all my whips for the week. Not too bad. My whips and my finishes. So that's what I've been doing. So plans for this week. Or one more thing I wanted to show you in case you didn't see. Now, a lot of my Flosstube friends are talking about like ORTs. Okay, so when you're stitching and then you got your last, you know, inch and a half, if you play like, you know, thread chicken, where you're trying to get, anywho. But then you end up with some piece of ORT, right? You have a random thread that, so are you team throw it on the floor? Like my friend Sue? You know, she vacuums it, so, you know, it's okay. But are you team throw it on the floor, or are you team cute little trash can, or what team are you? Okay, so I wanted to show you what team, so lots of people, I don't know why this came up, but I've seen a couple different Flosstubers talking about what they do with their ORTs. And I was like, well, I'm pretty excited. I mean, I don't think it's original. I don't know where I came up with it. But I wanted to share with you what I do. So I have 90% of the time I'm stitching in my family room, in my stitching chair, stitching couch, stitching. It depends like whether the dog gets the couch or I get the couch. But anyway, in the family room, I kind of go around moving the light. Anyway, but in the family room, I'm stitching 90% of the time. I also stitch upstairs in my room, in bed, if I'm feeling lazy, if I don't want to go to bed, if it's just warm. That's like a winter thing when it's like freezing. You're like, oh, let's just put a couple threads in because it's warm and cozy and I don't want to get out from under the covers, but I want to stitch. Anyway, so what do I have to catch my ORTs? This is what sits in my family room all the time. It floats around. I've got two different end tables, one by my chair and one by my couch. So what is this? This is Patrick used to go bottle hunting. Like he would walk through the woods and find old bottles. Like it's just weird. I mean, it's cool, but so this is just a vintage bottle. I think this one is actually from a honey bottle. I get local honey here in Loudon. You know, you go to the farmer's market and there's a beery, whatever those things are called. And so they have but this has got a cork top. So it had a cork top. Anyway, so this is my ORT container and it sits right next to my chair. It's almost ready to be retired because I can't push it down. And I put my scissors right there in it. And that is what I use. And then upstairs in my room, now this is definitely a vintage bottle because it actually says federal law prohibits sale or reuse of this bottle. I mean, and it doesn't have a screw top. It's a top, and I don't know. It doesn't have a year on it, but made in the USA, 18. Yeah, I don't know. But it was just very cool bottle. But the neck is a little tiny, but that's okay. Thread is tiny. So this is the one that sits on my bedside upstairs. Not pretty, not decorative. I mean, it is pretty. And once it gets filled up with all the pretty colors, it is pretty. What I'll probably do is, so that's what I do with my orts. I'm not team throw it on the floor. I'm team put it in the cute little glass jar. And then I always have a pair of scissors because my drawer is right there. I'm a sucker for these Ginger designer scissors. Love those. And so I have 2 pairs. And so there's one in each jar. And so that's what I do with my orts. I just thought I'd share that. And that's what one more thing. So I wanted to talk real quick. Here we go. I wanted to talk real quick about Mania. Now, we talked about Mania last week, and it was kind of like, it's only March 25th. So we got plenty of time. With that being said, I think I'm 90% sure. 90% sure. I had so many people come back to me and say, I want you to do the crossword puzzle. I want to have my coffee with you every day. All the warm hugs you guys gave me in your comments. You enjoyed Flossmas. What is that? You're like, what are they talking about? So Flossmas, this year in December, I did a daily Flossmas video. It was between 10 and 20 minutes. So totally consumable on the daily. And I featured a new Etsy designer every day. Now, there's only so many Etsy designers, but there's a zillion patterns. And so what I've decided, I think, so this is what I need your help for. So this week in the comments, we are doing a little research, little R&D people. So I went and I printed out, this is what May looks like in case you didn't know. Of course, May is 31 days. Yep. But it's 4 full weeks. And then these 3 days at the end. So let's just consume the 4 weeks. Okay. So I'm not going to do the weekends. I'm pretty much going to tell you that right now. Daily I can do Monday through Friday, but my weekends are just getting crazy and May is already getting bonkers. Noah's coming back from college. My house might be going on the market. Like there's lots happening, but Monday through Friday, it's my work day. I clock in. So can I add a 10 to 15 to 20 minute little video? Can I get up earlier to do? Yes. Yes, I can. So Monday through Friday. So we've got 20 days. So what I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking. I almost did, but I'm not going to. But what I need from you is ideas for themes. What's that mean? Okay. So on Flossmas, it was Christmas. Let's just be honest. It was Christmas all the day, every day, 24/7. Yay, Christmas. Well, May, I'm all excited for July. Just so you know, in case you saw in my little Instagram story sneak peek of the table that is the mess right now, did you see up in the left corner? Because it's right over there. Up in the left corner. I'll show you. Do you see? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you know what this is? It's gingerbread first. It's an adorable gingerbread. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. But the moral of the story is I'm excited for Christmas in July, like you don't even know. So I'm already going there. All the things. So excited. So many different ideas. It's going to be great. But, so May cannot be Christmas. May cannot be Christmas because I've already jumped into the deep end of Christmas in July. But May, so themes. So, not Christmas, but I think I wanted to, I'm not going to tell you. So, but tell me themes. What do you think? What would make sense? What would you like? What do you like? What do you like to stitch? Some people do pumpkins. Some people do Halloween. Some people do patriotic. Some people do bees. Some people do strawberry. Those are all the things I've already come up with. But you could totally say them. So that way I know that you like them too. But you like patriotic, pumpkins, strawberries, not the actual shape of the strawberries. I don't think I'm really jamming with those yet. But the actual strawberries on the stitching. Tomato. Woo! Sorry friends if that was in your ears. Tomatoes and stitching and friends and flowers and all the things. So give me themes. Just give me themes. I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe next week I will clue you in. So this week, give me some ideas for themes. We got plenty of time. I got a whole month of April to plan and put it all together. But I'm pretty sure 90% that we are going to be doing a Stitch Mania with Tiger Lily that is going to have the crossword puzzle because you guys loved it and I loved it too. Like, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Doing the crossword puzzle. I'm gonna try, we'll just see. We'll see what I can pull together in all my spare time. I don't know where. I mean, like, I have to sleep, right? I do. Like, it is kind of recommended. But there's just so many things to do. Anyway, friends, that's what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe, hit the bell, do the things, hit the like, give me the comments for the things. I need to come up with a little sing-song way to say all that stuff because that's just so fun. But that's what I've got for you today. So, of course, I will see you next Friday. I might see you between now and then. I don't know. You never know what Kari is going to do. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, come along over there. I'm on there more often just to check in and be a stitchy friend. So, until next time, friends, happy stitching.